Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Allie.
And this is But Have You Tried from the David A. Howe Public Library.
Here we are again.
Back and better than ever. Is that true?
I don't know. I mean, I feel kind of tired today. I don't know about
I
you.
do too. I was trying to pump myself up, but you really grounded us there,
I'm sorry,
so I
I'm
appreciate
sorry. I shouldn't have
that.
said anything. It's just like so foggy and misty,
Mhm.
which I love. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. But my body is like, we should be inside in bed with a cup of hot cocoa.
Yeah. It does
So-
feel a little bit like I'm in a Danish detective novel, you know?
Huh.
So,
Strange reference, but
Gritty.
I understand where you were going with that.
it's a library.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
What have you been up to? What's going on?
Oh, you know, the usual stuff.
Okay.
Reading. So, I mean, my husband just had his birthday.
Yeah.
And we played Draw Steel, which is an RPG
Okay.
for that, which is
Okay.
it's very well designed. The
All right.
combat is better designed than D&D.
Okay.
Going on record and saying that. But then we had also played D&D with friends the night before.
Yeah.
And then 2 nights
a
before
lot.
that, we'd played D&D with different
I
friends.
don't understand.
So it was like 3 times in 4 days. So that's most of what I've been doing.
You're basically on a summer stock schedule. You've got a performance like every day. I don't know how you're keeping up
Well,
with that.
because I also then like do D&D for teenagers here at the library
know.
every Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
Saturdays with friends, Thursdays here.
Most of it you're doing for free. At least you're getting paid for it once.
I know.
You
It's
know,
true.
That's pretty
Anytime
good.
I tell someone though that I'm like, yeah, I do D&D with teenagers for my job, they're like, what? You
Yeah.
get paid for that?
Nice
That's
work
amazing.
if you can get it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
true. It's true.
I've only played like twice, and I think I was not fun to play with. I think my friend was taking it very seriously, and I was maybe a little too lax.
Oh, well, I feel
But-
like being a little goofy with it is that's the way to go.
Yeah.
You can't take it too seriously.
He brought up this one character, and he was like, and it was his first day on the job, and I was instantly suspicious of this character, and I wouldn't let it go. And it turned out that it was just the guy's first day.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was
Well,
a rabbit hole I went
I
down.
will say that some kind of D&D or other RPG has been loosely on my list for a But Have You Tried topic someday.
boy.
So
Okay. All right.
But I
could
just
do
like
it.
I've been thinking about how to make it work
Yeah.
for like our format.
Listen, if I can smirk my way through the Mean Girls musical, I can play some tradesman on a dusty
Yeah,
road.
for sure. I feel like that's definitely within
Yeah.
your skill set.
I could do it.
But
Yeah.
anyway, what have you been up to?
What a great question. I don't even remember. I feel like this whole like February was just a blur to me of coldness and rain and
February
snow
is a
and-
month that I don't understand.
Yeah.
It happens every year and it always
Does
confuses
it?
me.
I don't even remember. I
Yeah,
don't know anything.
I don't know.
Anything that's happened. You know, I did do something fun though that maybe this is more of a bookshelf thing, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway.
I'm ready to
We
hear
went
it.
to the Clemens Center, which is in Elmira, right near the Steele Memorial Library, which is part of our system.
Shout out to the Steel
And
Memorial
yeah,
Library.
what's up, Steele? And we went to see Steamboat Bill Jr., which is a Buster Keaton movie, so silent movie, comedy. And there was an old-timey like movie house organ there that could do
Oh.
the sound effects and everything.
That's
and
cool.
a full orchestra that played all the music cues live.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's
it was-
like legit.
I know, it was pretty amazing. And I was looking like, how often do they do this? Never, it seems like.
Oh.
But the guy was like, what if we came back in a year? Would you come? And we were like, yeah. So I recommend it. I've always wanted to do that and have never gotten to do it before. And it was a hit. Even my 11-year-old son was all in.
That's a good rating.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
And then we went to Olive Garden. So,
Nice.
you know, when you're there, your family and the breadsticks are delicious. And yeah, so
I
that
wonder if
that's,
there's anything
that's
I can
one thing
eat
to
at Olive
report.
Garden anymore.
I doubt
Salad.
it very much. But the
Salad.
salad's great. It's a noticeably good salad. They probably have gluten-free pasta.
I don't know.
I mean, that's all you have
I've
to do
never
is like
researched this
shred
fact.
cardboard, right? Isn't that more or less?
It's mostly usually like rice, which then you know how when you're cooking rice, sometimes
Yeah.
it like the water like bubbles and it has
Right.
this like white
Right.
bubbliness. When you are cooking gluten-free pasta, if it is made of rice, it'll do the same thing.
Oh.
So it's much more inclined to boil over than like regular pasta.
I
And I have
saw
not adjusted to that.
chickpea pasta at Tops.
I've seen like lentil pasta and stuff like that, and I am intrigued by that.
Yeah.
And I like lentils, so and chickpeas, so that seems
Yeah.
like a win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, that just seems fairly divorced from like the original concept of pasta.
I agree. But this is the life you chose. you
Well,
know? Well, it chose you.
yeah,
It chose
yeah.
you,
I think
the
that's
gluten-free-
probably more
the
accurate to
gluten-free
say.
road. And then other than that, I've been doing a rewatch of the show Scrubs. I don't know if you've heard of it. But,
Oddly enough, I have heard
been
of
watching
that one.
through and having a good time with that. Shall we talk about Scrubs?
Let's talk about scrubs.
Okay, hit me with some facts.
I've got some facts for you.
Yeah.
Firstly,
Okay.
a scrub is a guy who thinks he's fly
Yeah.
and is also known as a puster.
It had to be done. It had to be
That
done.
song has been going through my head for like this entire month. Every
Yeah.
time anything about scrubs
Yeah.
has come up.
I guess I'm surprised that you know that song, but
Well, I don't
Okay.
know.
I
I'm
guess it's
just
sort of
that
permeated,
culturally in
but
touch, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, Scrubs is actually, in addition to what I just said,
Yeah,
a medical
that's true.
sitcom created by Bill Lawrence
Yeah.
following medical and surgical interns and nurses and, everyone at a teaching
whole
hospital named Sacred Heart, which I feel like I've seen at least 5 hospitals named Sacred Heart in
Okay.
real life. I
Okay.
feel like that's real.
Maybe it's part of it.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
It's starring Zach Braff, who I've been trying to figure out if I've seen him in anything else because that name is like so deeply
Did you
embedded
watch
in my
Garden
mind.
State?
don't
Him and
think
Natalie
so.
Portman. Okay, that's kind of a famous one. If you haven't seen Scrubs or Garden State, I don't know
Okay,
where else
well,
you would have.
maybe I've just heard you talk
The
about
Disney
him.
film Chicken Little,
That's a maybe.
because he voices the titular Chicken Little.
That's a solid maybe.
So maybe that's
a
it.
maybe.
Yeah.
Sarah, I don't know if it's Chalk or Chalky.
Chuck.
Chalk.
Yeah.
Who, fun fact, looks a lot like the comedian Taylor Tomlinson.
She does.
Like, so
Especially
much.
in that era. You're right.
Yeah, to the point that I
You're
was
right.
like, wait. I was like Googling her. I was like, is she somehow related
Somehow
to Taylor
related,
Tomlinson?
yeah, it's
Not that I can
possible.
tell.
It's
but
possible.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Donald Faison, who plays Murray in Clueless,
That's right.
which
He
I
sure
was
does.
like also trying to figure out where I recognized
Yeah.
him from because
Yeah.
he seemed very familiar.
Yep.
Ken Jenkins, John McKinley, and Judy Braze.
Yep.
This premiered on NBC in 2001, the year I was 1,
Mm-hmm.
and ran for 7 seasons before NBC dropped the show, but ABC picked it up for an 8th season, which ran in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be the finale season, but then they decided they were going to make a 9th season med school with like some new characters,
Yeah.
but some of the original characters from
Yeah.
what I'm gathering.
I think it's essentially a spin-off, but I think for like syndication purposes, they didn't change the title and they ran it as season 9.
I think that's
Yeah.
kind of a fun idea. Like
Yeah.
sort of the like kind of next gen, but with some of the OGs.
Yeah, it was interesting at the time because the season 8 season finale is so hard, a series finale. You know what I mean? Like there's no coming back from that finale. But it was the kind of thing where it was like it was right around there was writer's strikes going on and there was like
Oh.
they didn't really have anything to air, and so they reached out to Bill Lawrence and they were like, "Well, what about doing more?" And it was like, "Okay, he could do this and then like hundreds of people could keep their jobs and stuff." So they did it, but it was a little bit more about
More of like a
having a TV show versus
Okay.
like an artistically we must continue this. That being said, season 9 is really strong, and if it would have kept going sort of as that de facto spinoff, I would have watched it. I enjoyed it
That's
a
kind
lot.
of cool.
Yeah.
That's some cool history.
Yeah.
And then I learned in the process of my research that a 10th revival season has started airing on February 25 of
Yeah.
this year.
And
Are you watching?
I
it?
had no. I mean, I have less than zero interest in that. It
Fair
just
enough.
Zach Braff and Donald Faison have been doing T-Mobile commercials together a lot, so they've just
Maybe
been
that's
sort of.
where.
That could be because they are everywhere, like streaming. They're everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I just feel like it's so baked in that they're like young and starting out and everything. Like, do I want to see those characters like horsing around in their mid-50s?
Yeah.
Not
that's
really.
fair.
I mean, not really.
That does feel like it's pretty central to the premise.
Yeah. So I haven't watched it. I'm not saying I will never watch it, but it's not appointment TV
Never
for
say
me.
never.
Yeah. I mean, when we finish this rewatch, if it's like available somewhere, I probably would watch it.
Fair
But
enough. I
just
mean,
as
like, what do you
sort
have
of
to
a,
lose? You know, just
yeah,
like
exactly.
curiosity.
Yeah.
Might as
I
well
don't have
check it
like
out.
an ingrained desire to.
I understand.
that?
I understand. Do you have any facts you would like to add, or did I mostly cover the basics?
This show, so you were 1 when it came out. I was like graduating high school, and I didn't watch it right from season 1, but I'm a huge Dick Van Dyke fan. Love the Dick Van Dyke Show and all that. And Dick Van Dyke shows up in the 2nd season as a sort of a friend contemporary of Dr. Kelso, and it's just 1 episode, but they promoted the crap out of it because
Of course.
Scrubs was still sort of like in its infancy, and I don't think it was a huge hit like right from season 1. So Dick Van Dyke showing up got a lot of promo. And it was right after Dick Van Dyke was doing like Diagnosis Murder, so he was like a TV doctor to audiences by that point. Anyway, that's a season 2 episode, and that is the first thing I watched, and I watched it strictly for Dick Van Dyke, but I ended up loving the show and then followed it from there and, watched the first season back on DVD and stuff. So I watched it all the way through, and it was like appointment TV for me. I was pretty much hooked from the beginning. And so that kind of took me all through college and like into adultness. I think I was married. Yeah. By the time it ended. Yeah. It was like the show of my youth.
It's kind of a funny journey to be like, oh, this aired when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Then I watched it in college. And
Yeah.
I was married when it ended.
Yeah,
like, that's
exactly.
It was right there with you for all those important
That's right.
beats.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It was the best man at my wedding. Scrubs.
Oh man,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah,
That
really
makes sense.
heartwarming
Just a
toast.
poster of JD.
So were you aware of Scrubs at all?
I literally didn't know this existed until
Okay.
you assigned it to me.
That's
actually,
interesting.
I think the morning of when we recorded, you were like, "You ever seen that?" And I was like, "Nope."
Yeah.
And then you assigned it to me, and I was like, "I still don't know what
That's
that
why
is."
I asked you. Yeah.
But we're gonna find out.
Yeah. That makes sense to me because I don't think that it's, and I don't know why, but I don't think that it's one that got in that rotation, like The Office and Parks and Rec or Big Bang, even like that kind of stuff. For whatever reason, I guess it just never. It never
Yeah.
hit like the rerun circuit. It wasn't on TBS all the time back in the day or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know why, because I think it's a pretty solid show. How much did you watch?
I watched 8 episodes.
Okay.
I would have watched more if I had had more time.
Well, in fairness, I did give you a full month, but I respect your
Well,
process.
yeah.
I respect your
Well,
process.
to be fair though, our recording schedule did get a little messed up.
It did.
Which,
It did.
so I was like thinking, I was like, oh yeah, I have this much time, and then I was like, wait, suddenly
Yeah.
I have less time.
Yes.
So I don't know.
8 episodes, though. I do, like, as I said last week, and I stand by it, I really feel like it hits the ground running, knowing what it wants to be, and is pretty much that is what the show is. Are there characters that stood out to you in particular? I'm waiting to ask you if you liked it or not.
Okay,
but,
okay. We're getting to all the other questions first.
Yeah, is there a character that you were kind of like, yeah, this is funny to me?
I really enjoy the character of Dr. Cox.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
the like kind of like all over the place
Yeah.
of like sometimes he genuinely does give really good advice.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the time he's just like, get out of my face, newbie. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And that is 100% commitment by John C. McGinley in that
Oh my
role. I
gosh.
mean, he is
Absolutely.
just, he's given it his all, and he's making crazy decisions. You know what I mean? Like the acting choices he's making, it's like you go that big, and it's either going to like really land or it's going to be cringe.
Yeah.
And I feel like it lands.
Yeah.
Dr.
So
Cox, okay.
he stood out to me. I think Carla is a fun character. I don't know if I'm like, oh, she's like hilarious.
Right.
But like I think, I don't know. She's
yeah,
kind of
she's
fun.
definitely like a necessary piece in that puzzle.
Yeah,
You know,
I
without her,
agree.
you'd miss a lot of the humor.
Yeah. Well, and I also feel like she's like a little bit the like rooted aspect of it,
Yes.
of like everyone else is like a little crazy.
Everybody
and she's
else
kind
is
of
a
like tying
cartoon,
it
and
together
she's
with
pretty
them. Yeah.
normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I feel like that's
that makes sense.
important.
I think I've rewatched this at some point, not the whole thing, but I know I had the first season on DVD, and I feel like I rolled that a couple of times. But it's been a long time since I have revisited Scrubs, and watching it this time, and I'm not sure if you got much of this in the first 8 episodes, but I'm also really loving Dr. Kelso. Like, he is just such a delightful villain.
Like a
and-
love to hate kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you said that, and I was like, huh, that's an odd
Yeah,
way to. But
no,
I understand what you're getting at.
And I'm trying to think those first 8 episodes. I don't really think you are seeing the full gamut of what that character is like gonna do.
I
but
mean, he's definitely been pretty villainous,
yeah,
but
and I think for the first couple episodes, maybe this is an exception. I think he is kind of one-dimensional. But as it goes on, it's like he really like delights in torturing Dr. Cox, and like I don't know, he's just doing a lot with it, and I'm finding that is kind of a standout for me. And I mean, the janitor also cracks me up. But again, that's
it's
just
just
the
like
thing.
every scene he's in, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. Well, that actor Neil Flynn is sort of like famously an improviser, and it got to the point where it was just kind of like the scripts would be like dialogue. Neil says stuff, dialogue.
That's so funny.
And I think even in the first season, if you watch like deleted scenes or bloopers or something, it's like he says something totally different every time, and Zach Braff is just kind of like in the moment being like, what's happening, which I think really works.
Yeah. Because like his like clear like confusion and like trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Like it does feel very genuine.
Yeah.
And it makes sense if it
Yeah.
was.
The very first interaction they have where the door is stuck and JD is like, maybe someone put a penny in it. He's like, did you put a penny in it? If I find a penny in it, I'm going to take you down or whatever. I love that. I think it's so funny.
I also enjoy about that it's unclear whether he did in fact put a penny in
Right.
it or not. Like that's a
Yeah.
specific thing to call out, but also like why would you like
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Or did the janitor actually find a penny in there?
Right.
You know, I read too a long time ago that in the first season, the janitor doesn't really interact with anybody but JD. And they were sort of toying with the idea of this was sort of like imaginary or was like representative of his anxiety or something, and wasn't actually going to be a character that other people interact with. And you kind of do see that like,
Yeah.
when you watch, because it's
Well, because I think there's even a scene or two where it's like the janitor's coming or something, and he like I don't know closes the door and then it like opens and it's like the janitor's gone
Yeah,
and someone
right.
else is there and like that
Right.
kind of thing.
yeah. So I think that is in there a little bit. All right, let me have it. What'd you think?
I did like it.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
I watched the first episode and I wasn't really vibing with it. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like, I think maybe the humor just wasn't landing, and some of the like surrealism, I was like just not
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
where it was going. But then as I watched more, I was like, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy it.
I get that. I do think it's very cohesive with the stuff that's imaginary. And yeah, when it decides to go surreal, and when you'll see a scene and then JD will kind of blink and you'll realize, okay, that didn't happen at all. That is, again, that's something that you've got to really be purposeful about. And I feel like they do that pretty well. What are the drawbacks? What didn't you like?
I mean, like I am very squeamish, so there's just like a few moments where I'm like, oh,
Oh,
about like just
hospital-y
like doctor stuff.
Okay.
But I didn't expect that would be too bad, and it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
There's just like one or two times where I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a pass for me.
Yeah. Well, and there's some sexism as well, like with the way,
yeah.
Elliot's both portrayed and the way the characters react to her. And sometimes it's like they're calling it out. Sometimes it seems like that is the joke. The sexism is the joke. But other times it's like nobody seems to realize what they're doing.
There's definitely
which I don't think-
there's some nuance to like that kind of situation, but it does fall short of
Yes.
just being kind of
Yeah.
like a pointing out the issues.
Right.
And like it very much could just be an entire arc of like here is what it's like to be a woman medical intern at this hospital,
Right.
but it does not quite land that all the time.
No, that's true. And I think she's hilarious. She's all over the place in a way that I think is like really funny, and I think she does that so well.
Yeah.
And the way that those characters grow like over the course of the series is also really fun. What is your like go-to sitcom? You're not a huge sitcom-y
I'm
gal,
not a huge
are ya?
sitcom gal. I don't know.
I made you watch a couple now, but I mean, if you had to like desert island scenario where you can bring one sitcom with you.
I mean, are we counting The Good Place? Because that's
Sure. Yeah.
okay. We'll say
You
The
would
Good
bring
Place.
The Good Place.
I
Okay.
would bring the.
All right.
This is also more of a bookshelfy note, but we did finish The Good Place.
Hey,
And I did cry a lot.
you cried.
I did cry.
Okay.
I mean, it was
All right.
just an emotional ending,
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but we can get into that in our bookshelf
Yeah.
episode. But
We got through the episodes in The Office where Michael leaves, like where Steve Carell goes. That was also a tearjerker. I'd seen it before. We got there and I was like, oh no. Oh no. So I understand.
yeah,
I get it.
sometimes that's just how it goes.
Did your husband watch this with you?
He didn't. No, he probably saw some of it in the background while Steve was doing stuff. But some of it I watched like while he was out or whatever.
Okay.
I did. The first time I sat down to watch this, I was watching it over lunch, and that was a mistake.
Oh.
Just in terms
Oh,
of like
'cause hospital
the
stuff?
hospital stuff.
Okay.
There's like
Gotcha.
one or two things just in the first episode, and I was like, I don't want to be eating my sandwich
Yeah.
and thinking about this at
Yeah,
the same time.
I get that.
But that was on me. I should have known better.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall there wasn't a lot that I didn't like.
Okay.
I had a good time. I still have the discs at home, and I'll probably watch more of it. So
Okay. It's not something where you're like, oh, I gotta go on with this forever. I'm gonna watch it all.
probably there aren't a lot of TV shows that I'm like I have to watch it all.
Okay.
I think because so much when I was growing up, there was this dynamic where my family would be watching a TV
Yeah.
show and I'd be really into it, and then other people in my family would be a little like,
Chicken
all right,
out,
we're a
not
little
gonna watch it
bored,
anymore, yeah.
whatever. It's kind of gone off the rails. We're gonna change to a different show.
Yeah.
And I was always like the person who was like still clinging on.
Right.
And so I feel like to some degree I got used to just like being like, yeah, we watch a bit of a show and then we watch a different show and maybe we go back to that show eventually. Unless it's like a very open and shut kind of like
Yeah.
1 season or 2 seasons, whatever, 20 episodes total. Usually I'm kind of like, yeah, I'll watch some of that at some point and then I'll watch something else and I'll come back.
I'm a bad binger, but I can binge sitcoms. Like I could sit down and watch 3 or 4 episodes of this, no problem. So
I mean I think I could too, but like I don't know that I just don't sustain that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, yeah, I'm having a great time, then I'll like be watching like 2 or 3 episodes a day or like every other day for a couple weeks, and then I'll be like, I don't know, something will happen, I'll just get busy or whatever, and then it's like I don't for a while, and then I come back to it. It's like
Yeah.
Gilmore Girls. I've still never finished the series, but like every like 6 to 18 months I just watch a couple more
yeah.
episodes.
So one of
watch
these
a couple
days,
more episodes.
yeah.
So one of these days.
Yeah. I think one thing that really plays in Scrubs' favor is its ability to be hilarious and like genuinely a dramatic show, and like it really hits the emotional beats in a way that doesn't feel like Whiplash. It feels like characters have certain triumphs or things are taken away from them or whatever, and it's like that feels earned. It doesn't feel like it's like, okay, we need a dramatic tag on this, so yeah, let's have something bad happen to this person. And it also doesn't feel like, well, we were just laughing. Why are we sad
Yeah.
now? Like, what's going on? And I can't really think of another show that does it so well. Maybe The Office hits the same level of those things, but I think within a season or even within a given episode, Scrubs manages to make you feel like all of those emotions in a way that's just so well rounded that, again, I just don't think it has a peer in that regard.
I was really impressed by that because I wasn't expecting how much of the like more like somber or like emotional beats there were going to be. I was kind of like, okay, like, you know, whatever, like medical comedy sitcom, I got this. But like some of the like wrestling with like, what does it mean to be a good doctor, and like how am I going to deal with these patients and like traumatic things that are happening and whatever, like the grief of it all and everything, I feel like were really well done, and like well done in a way that I would expect from a show that's not a comedy. You know what I mean? It's like that's just what the whole show is like reckoning with that stuff.
And I'm sort of wondering if that's why it's not one of those constant rotation kind of shows that people have, because it's not really a feel-good show, because you're gonna be like put through the ringer emotionally, and maybe that has hurt some of its rewatchability.
But I feel like that makes it better. You know what I mean? Like I feel like.
But I think the reason why people rewatch like The Office or Parks and Rec or something like that is because it is just a comfort kind of thing.
Maybe.
And I'm not sure that Scrubs is that same kind of thing. In some ways, it's almost more of a drama that is funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like their goal is to write a good dramatic series, and it coincidentally is pretty funny.
Yeah,
you know, along
that's
the way
true.
because of the way the characters are. I don't know if you've seen anything like Bill Lawrence, who created the show, has created a lot of other shows that are favorites of mine, like Spin City with Michael J. Fox, or Cougar Town with Courtney Cox, Ted Lasso. He made Ted Lasso, or Shrinking, that's on Apple right now. Any of those?
No,
have you ever come
I mean I
across?
recognize
Okay.
some of those names, but I haven't seen any of those.
I think you'd like Ted Lasso, at least the first 2 seasons.
I feel like we've talked about
just
it a
the
fair
first
bit.
season. Maybe I'll make you watch it.
Maybe you will.
That's another show that's coming back with a season like after several years away, and I'm like, maybe not. You know?
Yeah.
You know what's irritating me about the new Scrubs revival too? They've come out and said that they're going to ignore that season 9 episode or season that was kind of spin-offy.
They're just gonna
Like,
pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they're just going to pretend that it goes from the end of
That's
season
kinda
8 to
weird.
the new. Yeah, I don't like it. I think because they did some things with the characters that felt a little bit maybe more endgame, like relationship wise and stuff like that. And I think they wanted to have those doors open for the revival. But those things happened. We watched them happen.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
and I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's definitely a downside of like any like.
Yeah.
I mean, like TV show or like comic, anything that's like kind of coming out over a long period of time. Is that, or like even movie franchises, is that like stuff will happen that makes sense for the story.
Yeah.
End game moments will be achieved. And then if the story keeps going, there's like a real tendency to just like undo those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's never the answer
Yeah.
to just like undo stuff that happened that
Right.
people were excited about.
Yeah.
It's like you just have to be creative and
Or I
find
guess,
new
like,
ways to challenge the characters. Like
even things that people weren't excited about. It's like then you deal with that. You know what I mean? Like if you've written yourself into a corner because you didn't intend to ever pick that up again, you still have to start from that corner, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I know like the Will and Grace reboot and Mad About You and a bunch of things that came back were sort of like, well, we put that bow on that because we didn't expect to revisit these characters. I'm just like, well, it's kind of lazy to then pretend you never put the bow rather than trying to find a good way to untie it.
Yeah.
That being said, if someone wants to make a sequel to Next Gen and pretend like Star Trek Picard never happened, you know, God bless. Please. That's fine. But that's the one exception that I'm willing
Well,
to
I
make
feel like
in
if
that
something
regard.
comes out like later like that and is weird, and then you make another thing, I feel like it's fine to ignore the later weird thing. You know what I mean? But if it's like fully in tandem with the rest of whatever it was, and you just ignore it, that's when I'm like, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Okay. All that to say that, you know, I probably would watch the Scrubs reboot if it was like put in my lap.
Okay.
But I'm not going to go out there.
You're
with
not
it.
going to like search for it.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. Well, I know that you like Scrubs.
Oh, boy.
But
I forgot the premise of the podcast.
have
but yes.
you ever tried? Yeah, I just see the fear in your eyes.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried Jeeves and Wooster?
Oh, is that Hugh Laurie?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's stories and books written by
Okay.
P.G. Woodhouse.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Which are hilarious.
Okay.
And then there is a like show adapting them, starring Hugh Laurie and Stephen
Okay,
Fry.
right.
Perfect casting. I don't think they could have done better.
I think that I can say no to this question. I feel like I've seen a little bit of that show, and I can't swear that I've never read any P.J. Woodhouse, like a short story or something. But I think I can enough say no,
Okay.
I haven't, because I'm struggling to remember.
That sounds
What you
fair.
got there?
I have in my hands
Grubby little
Carry
hands.
On Jeeves, which
Okay.
are short stories.
See,
I
my
also
wife
put
is
on
gonna be
hold
so
for you.
excited
Well,
about this,
she
but-
was the secret source who I
there
confirmed that you
go.
hadn't tried this with.
All right.
Because I was like, I feel like we've talked about this, but I don't know if we've just talked about this because I've read these.
Someone put a paperclip in this book.
That's weird. That's a
not
weird
cool,
thing
you
to
guys.
do.
Don't do that. 'Cause
Don't
you've
just
you've
come
read
down to
these.
our stacks and put
don't be
paper clips in
paperclipping
books.
Stuff. Oh,
Oh, because the page
it's a
came
loose
out.
page.
Well,
all right. Gal, I forgive you.
I also put on hold for you the Inimitable Jeeves, which is also short stories.
I'm gonna need you to say that word.
Inimitable.
Again. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, I didn't do it very well the
Yeah,
first
but
time.
the second time I really felt
Yeah,
like
I
you
recovered.
had
I
it.
recovered.
You had it.
So my recommendation is read. The short stories aren't that long and they are fun. So
Okay.
maybe 5 or 6 between the two books. You can
Okay.
kind of pick and choose.
Okay.
Definitely read Jeeves Takes Charge
Okay.
because that's kind of like the two characters maybe
Gotcha.
for the first time.
Okay.
And I'd say watch maybe 3 of the show, which I also put on hold for you.
I was gonna say, do we have that? But okay.
I put it on hold.
All right.
You
I
can
could
also
do
watch
this.
it on YouTube. Not that you heard it from
I
me.
could do this.
But
all right, I'm up to the challenge.
all right,
I'm up
I'm
to the
excited to
challenge.
hear what you think.
Okay. Well, we've already sort of spoiled some of our bookshelf stuff, but there will be more
There will be more
when
of
we
what
return
we've been watching and doing
in 2
and
weeks
thinking.
to talk about
In
those
2
things.
weeks.
And then in a month, we'll see how much of I forgot already. Jeeves and
Jeeves
Wooster.
and Worcester.
Okay. All right. And that's different from a bit of Fry and Laurie. That's just
That is different.
they're-
That's just Fry and Laurie are so perfect together. They have to be
okay.
doing stuff
and
together.
that's like sketches.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe that's
I haven't
what
seen
I've
that much of
seen
it.
then. Maybe
I
that
wouldn't
is
be
what I've
surprised
seen.
if you've seen some Fry and
Okay.
Laurie. But no, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hey, this chemistry works. Let's
Pretty
go back
much.
to the well.
You
Okay.
just, yeah, you can't
All
get
right.
enough of that.
Well, we'll see if I can in fact get enough of it by the time I've tried this in 1 month. So we'll see you then.
See you then.